Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So, we must hold. Simply no other choice here, then. As the blizzards sink in, we must hold. So, that is going to be much easier said than done. Who are you under? Right, there we go. Okay. I thought there'd be like one or two over here that were out of range of command. So we'll have them reassigned. So yes, we are to try and hold the front, which is a hell of a lot easier said than done. So what we're going to do is going to go ahead and we're going to not click on airfield, we're going to click on the reconnaissance, and we're going to take a look at what we're dealing with. Namely, we're looking to identify sources of strength, or really something else that might indicate a large Soviet offensive. Now, here's not too bad. Their morale is rather low due to the fact that they were pushed back, but 70 isn't that low. Okay, just hold that gap. So we were pushed back over here. Now, what I could do is I could pull back to the river line here. And there's obviously... oh dear, that is a 2 cavalry corps. Okay, that's large. Right, that is fairly large. There's a lot to be said for that. If I pull back... obviously, I reduce the vehicle need. But the thing is, with it being winter anyway, the rivers are frozen, so they offer no benefit. Do I have any positions established here? I do not. But does it reduce the frontage? Not so much really, but at least it does bring us closer to other supporting elements. So I think we will retreat then, so we can pull back. We do have a town here, plus we do have the rail line. Wow, there's a lot of supply there. So in effect, we do have a decent amount. So actually I'm going to pull that headquarters there. You can be reassigned. There we go. Yep, so that is a large amount of cavalry right there. I'm not entirely sure what size that will be at the moment. I believe they'll go to about 30-odd thousand. I'm not entirely sure on that one though. Okay. Now we have surrendered some ground here, but that's fine. Right, pull you back there. Okay, now the division. What we'll do here then is we're going to just concentrate the line. I'm going to try to hold it as much as possible. I mean, I would prefer to keep the 18th Army reserves available for elsewhere. As frankly, committing more men to this area doesn't really do me any favours. I'd rather have them committed to the battle for Moscow, which is supremely more important than just holding this. Though there is a concentration of strength, it's nothing too bad at the moment. If needs be, we can obviously pull another corps back from the Leningrad area, which I could do actually quite easily. And I might do actually. I'd love to take this, but I can't attack it with these Finnish forces. I don't really have anything in the area to contain it either. So for the moment, we'll keep them going. Okay. Move here. Now, I'd have loved to have taken this, and I might be able to do that eventually. I mean, we have the village of Volga up the town of Volga. Eventually, I'll be able to take this, and then at least I can cut that off. But it is still technically cut off and now, so that's fine. Righto. So we'll have the SS pull back as reserves. I could just retreat and pull back to the actual rail line, which I think might be a better idea, considering the terrain is better as well. Rails are going to be moved. I don't know, I think I'd like to... It's one of those things, I'd like to keep on pushing the rails down here, but I need to just solidify logistics in this area here. So ultimately I'd love... Actually, no... I could actually do it, sweet, so I could actually move down this way. And then we can have the rail line run up over here. Superb. But importantly, if I could take that one, I'd have it all the way with here. But if we can get some supply across the river, that will be absolutely amazing. It will really alleviate the supply issues over on this side of the river, which are present. It's not terribly bad, but it is still there. And I'd ideally like to remove any difficulties. We can pull back some of the weaker forces and have them just act as like reserves. I'll just have them refit, try and hunker down for the winter, which is going to probably get worse before it gets better. Right, so we have formulated this line here. Right, so we were facing heavy attacks over in this area, which is understandable. I'd imagine that was going to happen. Right, these headquarters. Ah. Bam 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 da da da. I'd like to put them into here, but then again, there's not really too much, is there? So we'll have them act as a reserve. Okay. Now, we do have enough combat power to potentially break through here. Would that be a worthwhile objective? Possibly. Possibly. It would gain us that rail. Which I don't really need, but then at least we'd be able to bring the combat width down even further. So I might consider it. What is their entrenchment? Their entrenchment is only 1. I think we could manage it. We do have some armor here just to beef up the attack as well. Okay, I think we'll give it a go. Right, hopefully we can break them. Yes, we can. Fantastic. That is actually really important. Okay. Ideally, I'd like to move a unit out of here so I can move the rail line through. Right. No more movement here. But this is fine. Okay, move that there. Oh dear. Okay, so there's no further movement. But, no matter. The excellent thing here is that we can actually beef up our defenses now. Yeah, which we definitely need to do. Considering that this is only held by brigades. That's rather cool. Righto. So we do have these newly arrived forces, which is fantastic. They will definitely help to fill the gaps. Okay. What am I looking for? So we have 102nd. 102nd, 31st, 31st. Right, so 102nd can go here. And 31st can go here, so we'll form the full division. And therefore increase its power, which it definitely does need to be increased. Right, 102nd can go over here, reform with the rest of its division. Right, yeah, so we will have to reinforce those divisions, which we can. Move another one here. Another division will probably be required to make that position tenable. But nonetheless, we've shored up things to a degree. But the important thing here is that we now have rails to here. So in the following turn, we'll be able to have them come across here, and then we can really just get the logistical situation sorted. I should probably try to link up these rails to Kaluga. If I do that, that'd be decent. These rails are connected. But the best thing is that they are connected now, which is superb. It means that we do have some resilience. Almost connected here, but they'll be connected here in time. So at least that's going to hopefully help out the logistical situation. Okay. You're over here. Now, I'd like to move you up here just to beef this up. There we go. Did not mean to do that. Okay. I should just move that one there for the moment. A little bit of a waste, but we should be able to take that out next turn, potentially. And then at least I can take those forces. And that will definitely relieve the situation to a degree. We won't have to worry about being pocketed. I don't think we will be pocketed, but it's something that we do have to consider. I'm unsure how long the weather will last. Hopefully not too long. This is also a worry here, but I can move in and reoccupy that position. Of course, down here as well. Right, so combat power is rather high in this area. Okay. So we do have a few divisions here. Importantly, we can take that town, which does solidify my control there. Okay, so most of the combat power is here. Short that up a little bit. Okay, I'd like to take control of that town again, because it is excellent cover. I also do need to protect my flank. There we go. Lovely. So we do have a large amount of Soviet forces pushing out from the Rozhne. The beautiful thing here, though, is the fact that we have what I'd like to call the strong point system. So we have Orel, Kursk, and Kharkov. Those are the strong points. The best thing about them is they are logistical centers. They have supply there sufficient for us. We also can take shelter in there, and it increases our defense dramatically. So we are able to hold out quite nicely. While the Soviet forces are out in the cold, they're advancing to terrain where they do not have local rail logistical support, and that will hurt them. So, we're able to take advantage of that. Right, we'll have you by Tula, and then you can take advantage of the supply in there too, and therefore help to relieve the issues. Nothing to be assigned? Fine. But yes, the winter is a difficult period of time for us. And it will continue to be so until it's over. I'm reluctant to commit reserves until I am damn well sure that they're worthwhile. Okay, let's see. Yeah, these forces do count as actually occupying, so that's sweet. So I can actually just use local forces to occupy if I'm stuck. Which I might want to do, considering that they are going to cause issues in the future. Okay, so do you have these forces here? Rail cap is decent enough, but I don't plan on moving anything via rail for the moment. We do have these forces over here who are refitting, which is sweet. Okay. Let's get them on the rail lines. And there we go. Now they can collect fuel, consolidate further, and we'll be good. Right. Support is almost here. Indeed. That is a huge amount of men. Right, we'll shift you up there. Have you shift command. These forces, obviously due to the nature of their composition, are going to be far superior at holding this sort of terrain. As we can already see. Right, shift you there. Righto. So frankly, we have to try to survive the storm. Now this is the weakest part of the line, and I would love to try and shore this up. Okay, I can do that. Right, there we go. So that is now shored up to a degree. Stalingrad is not looking good. Not looking good. But honestly, it's a lot better for them to be in here than go outside right now. At least they do have the capability to survive. Right. Okay, so we are faced by a cavalry corps, which is rather awful. Okay. So the situation is going to be rough. It's definitely going to be rough. I could pull back here, which I think I'll pull back here. That reduces the frontage. I can further consolidate my men, increase my defensive power. There we go. It's only here where's the weak point, but that's surrounded by two forces. I'd love for them to give up. I think a second force would have to be sent, and then they should give up. Yep, there we go. They held out a while, and they were a pain in the arse. But now they're gone, so at least that's one headache removed. Okay. So, for the time being, we just consolidate. It's only really the south and the center north where we really, well, really try to hold these lines. And right, let's take a look at the area around Moscow. At least we have been able to push onto the city again, which is rather nice. I might be able to pull things off quite nicely. Right. So let's see, we do have some reinforcement, and we are also going to pull back these panzers, I do believe, or at least spread it out in a way that is better for us. I need to push them back, that's the thing. I'm reluctant to give up this, but I'd rather not lose everything by holding on to some ground. At the end of the day, as long as we hold a position close by, we do have an armoured thrust here that is incredibly large, and we will be able to force our way through eventually. At least I'd hope so. So we need to survive the winter, that is the priority. Righto. So move you into here. And of course we do need to keep our panzer forces as fresh as possible. Okay. Okay. I think we might give up this area here and then pull back into this area. I think that's a much better idea. Issue is that 2nd Panzer is on the receiving end of this. So, honestly, actually, considering things here, I could just pull back beyond these forces here to, like, Naropomunsk. And what do we really give up? Nothing really much. Obviously, room of maneuver, but the fact is, it's a salient, and it's surrounded by quite a number of forces. So, in all honesty, pulling back is by far preferable. And does make more sense. So, start to pull back. The issue is we are kinda lacking in space. So let's just shore up our flanks. There we go, so we have given that ground there. Again, shore up the flanks. Okay, so we have retreated there. That's irritating. Right. The fact that these guys are over here is really rather poor. I do need to leave myself some room to pull back into, otherwise I will end up in quite a sticky situation. Right, there we go. So by clearing that up, we've given ourselves some more room to breathe here. Okay, reassign. Ideally not to that command. There we go. Yeah, this is the issue here, that we are really confined to space, and that is deadly. Alright, issue is their ability isn't great. Okay, we're just gonna have to hold out here. There we go. Hopefully we can keep things viable. 2nd Panzer is going to suffer heavily this turn. But the fact is, we've pulled back. They can't attack us from as many angles. And in the following turn, we should hopefully be able to push them back. I'm concerned about my headquarters being so close, so we are going to pull back. At least to a certain degree. Right. So that's 5th Corps. Right, have them reassigned to 5th Corps. Then I was going to have things in a better fashion. I do have some reserves. So that's good to know. We'll have them as reserves. Lovely jubbly. I mean, this is it. Even if I was to move them via rail, I couldn't get them there. And even if I was to try and move them via, well, marching, they wouldn't get there. So it's a mute point in terms of that. Okay. So we need to hold the line as much as possible. And dig in. So I think we will take a core. A full core at that, actually. I do need more men. And frankly, these guys aren't doing anything much by being here. We'll keep them there. Okay, have them reassigned. So 18th in this area is vastly diminished. But frankly, the forces they're facing are starved beyond all belief. Don't go directly to the army, you arseholes. Right, L-Core. Right, L-Core. So we do have another full course, that's 5 divisions, ready to roll out. So that is the important thing here. Well, they will be able to roll out next turn. They're on supply. But at least then we can be a little bit more free with our reserves. So this is the important thing here, that we do have these extra men. We have reserves, whereas in real life, well, historically the Germans did not have really much in reserve. I think they had maybe like 1 or 2 divisions in reserve, and that was about it, pretty much. So we're already doing fairly well. The bleeding is going to continue. Yeah. Issue is, these are permanent losses, but we'll be able to recover. Ideally, we'll be able to recover. Losses are rather high. But they're high for the Soviets too. Issues, a lot of men have been disabled here. 23rd Army. Okay. Right, let's move OKH. Actually, I might just leave them as they are. Righto. So consolidated our position here. We have managed to be able to push across here, which is very, 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 very important. Right, let's make sure what we can... whatever we can do is in reserve. There we go. I do have these guys over here. Is it worthwhile sending them during this weather? Yeah, probably. Let's see. Fuel dumps aren't too high. I'd probably be better off fueling, yeah, definitely better off fueling these guys. Right, fuel. We do have a lot of transports here, though. That's what I love. Actually, I think what I might be better off doing is... let's see. Didn't want to do that. I believe if you send fuel to the actual airfields, it's distributed evenly into the... Well, it basically goes into the headquarters and then it's, like, distributed, as I'm aware. We'll see. So I should be able to fly things in a hell of a lot more efficiently, then. There we go. Okay. So we'll send some to the airbase here. Fuel. Yeah, there we go. That's 133 tons of fuel. 91 tons of fuel. Right, select all. That's 386 tons of fuel. And then I do believe it is distributed. Or it either goes back to the headquarters, but it will be distributed out in some fashion, I do believe. I'll have to see. Right, we'll not do too much more because I don't want to risk my precious, precious planes. Okay. We do have a number of planes here. I think what we'll do then is we'll establish a fallback line. So I'm going to create some fortified zones. On the flanks, that is. They'll grow in size. But if I can hold the flanks, then that's the important thing here. Well, I don't think I really need any more than this. At least that'll hold this area. At least present something decent to hold that with. So we'll go with that then. Okay. Yeah, you're fine. 4th Panzer Army. It's interesting that all the actual forces are now known as Panzer Armies. Yeah, you're fine. I'll have you just redesignated to another commando just to make things easier. Righto. Let's have these guys on reserves just in case. Would not hurt. Okie dokie. So I think we're about done there. Yeah, you can see the weather. So this is where the worst weather is. We'll have you reassigned. Ah, the beautiful thing though is I can move my army up here now. This is 6th Army actually, the one that was historically surrounded at Stalingrad. Do we have Paulus? No, we do not. There we go, so at least that makes things a lot better for our supply up here. Okay. So we'll save it here then. I really do need to sort these saves out. I think, are we in the 3rd turn of our blizzard or the 2nd turn of the blizzard? I forget what turn it is of the blizzard. I think it's 2. I mean, it is December 11th, so we do have a while of this. Okay, let's hope for the best and deal with the worst. Yeah, it's going to be bloody. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Hmm. Okay. Bum, bum. Hmm. Yep, that's not surprising. That is concerning. That is very, very concerning. Hmm. The issue is that this pocket is open now, but we'll be able to re-establish these points here. I do need to crush that pocket as quickly as possible just so I can... Oh, good god. They're actually attacking me now. I think I might just pull back into Stalingrad itself, just so I've got the men there. A lot of them are being damaged. Ah! Now that is dangerous. Need to spread out these divisions. Winter is basically crisis management. I can imagine how bad things would be if the Soviets had another 1,000,000 men. Okay, fair enough. Decent. Now air power comes into play in these areas. That's fine. That's important. Right, yep, that's what I expected to happen, but I'm glad that did happen, and this is what I was talking about by giving them room to retreat to, so then they don't surrender. But the thing is now we've reduced that frontage, so I can spread men out now. It's the same as if we can finally deal with that. Good. A lot of AFVs are being damaged here, but they will hold. Right, that's not good. Okay. So we are going to have to commit the 18th reserves into different areas here. The thing is, we only have to hold so long. The Soviets do not have unlimited men. They will exhaust themselves soon enough. All I have to do is just hold on. To key areas like Tula, Kaluga, Kalinin. and the towns around Moscow. Okay. Right, so they are pushing. If they push too deep, I'll just cut them off. Okay. Now we're seeing attacks down here. Not surprising. I do have First Panzer to respond to the worst. But you see, the vast majority here are corps. Sorry, brigades. That is a single corps, though, to the south. The thing is, they might not even need the corps to be able to break through. Well, the corps. Good, we held. The longer we hold here as well, the better we can dig in. So yeah, we are seeing front wide, well, just entire theatres coming under attack. Alright, see, that indicates the fact that they don't really have the logistical capabilities here, which is fine. That means they're supplying partisans, I do believe. Good information to know. Okay. So that would be the worst. More than likely. But the fact that we hold on to Rostov and other key cities like that is incredibly important. Right, yep, that is the worst. So things will continue to be bad throughout the winter, but it's never going to be as bad as the first turn of the blizzard when the Soviets are at their freshest. Obviously, that's when we're at our freshest as well, but the Soviets will lose men, and they will lose the ability each turn. The important thing around Moscow is I believe the areas we were pushed back from, we should be able to reoccupy, and then we can hold that closed. I mean, we are going to bleed here, so we did lose 38,000 men. Frankly, not too many, though the AFE losses were large. Okay. Alright, so I can reoccupy that, which is a shame because I fought for that. But if it was not meant to be, it was not meant to be. Right, yeah. AFE numbers are very close. Need to break that. That was pushed away, but at least it'll be able to function again. We do have you right there to be able to fill that in. Right. Now, I do need to move you back. Okay. Move these rails. Right, I'm just going to go ahead and not do that. Oh, okay. I guess... oh, no, they are joined. That's good then. Okay. Right, so I guess what we'll do then is, for the most part, due to the very delicate nature here, I think we're going to move on to this rail line. Because that's safe. And again... let's see. So the rail lines are still up this turn. Fantastic. That is really quite helpful. Supply situation is continuing to escalate. Alright, I can get to Kaluga. Okay, I'm at Kaluga now. Right, let's do some reconnaissance and we'll figure out what's going on. Okay. So we can't see really too deep. I think I might be able to deal with that this turn. If I deal with it now, then that is by far the best thing. Because then it's gone. It means it's not going to threaten us anymore. Let's see. Right. Now, 4, 6, yeah, 11. That should be sufficient. Please, please. Son of a fucking bitch. Right, well that's just completely fucked me. I've seen an actual Soviet tank division there. Okay. Right, just move there. Then get the hell out. Alright, have you reassigned? There we go. Right, if I move them off the rail line. There we go, that's one done. So we can work on this rail line here. Have that connected up. And then at least strengthen us. Alright, let's get in there. Let's get in there. Okay, what do we have in terms of rail? It's 13,000 still. This is the issue, we're really suffering on logistics. Right, this is looking rather dangerous. What I can do though to respond is I can shift men here. Yeah, things are continuing to escalate, though it's not as bad as it was historically, so that's something that we need to hold on to. Right, now that is a pain in the ass, but we can make do. I may have enough with other units just to try it once more. I'll give it another go. I mean, these units are behind the lines anyway. It's irritating beyond all belief. Right, go there. You boost our defense dramatically. Right, go there. Okay. Right, so that's only a single brigade. If I take that, then we can push. Need to get back there. Right, both of them together should be able to... Well, all of them together should be able to push that back. Yep, there we go. Routed it. Right, fill that spot. Okay. Right, movement there. Now, do we move into that town? It is good cover. And these men could really do with it. Right, support is here. Have you reassigned? So it's frankly trying to deal with this. Oh boy. Had them reassigned. Right, there we go. There we go. Right, back you go. I think... I don't know. I feel like I should really... Let's start moving this way, just so we're out of the way. Right, have you shifted to a local command? There we go. Okay. Yeah, so you can see here that they got a shitload of fuel. Rough. Right, we'll use the panzers here to push them back. Or not. I'll take that. Again, we'll contract. There we go. So we are out of danger there. That's the most important thing. We're out of danger now. This means that we can consolidate and really prepare ourselves. This needs to go. I don't really have any reserves available for this area. Interesting that they've moved there. Okay. Right, these forces here will be used to shore up this defense. That might have been a mistake. Okay. Right, notice how we do have this ability now. The fact that these rail lines are linked up is incredibly important. Number of forces now. Ooh, a security division. That is important. That is very, very important. Especially as we are seeing partisans. Lots of partisans. Okay. This is dangerous, but we will watch out. I mean, we can be well, we can deal with it. I'm trying to deal with things in such a way as to where I don't have to commit, and therefore I don't have to lose much. Right, that line's still up. It's really the south where we need that security division. I mean, that'll hold another 3 cities, which is very, very important. There we go. They'll live? Well, they've been dealt with. Oh boy, that's a lot of men. Luckily, reinforcements are coming. Good thing supply is improving down here, to be honest. There we go. I mean, the fact that supply is now reaching Kharkov is extremely important. As you notice, the only units that are on beachhead supply are now these units. Right, let's consolidate at Stalingrad. So we might have to try and break our way out. And the city's absolutely ruined. Rail yard's ruined. Right, I mean, we do have a damn good amount of supply here. And we are digging in, that's even better. So if we can keep them busy here, that's great. I don't know if I'll ever be able to rescue them. I'd love to say I could. But I'm trying to be realistic here. Right. These forces are by far the best suited for this sort of operation, but I'd rather not deploy them yet. I'd rather keep them still in the actual safety. Okay. What do I have in terms of rail? Still 10,000. Hmm. Right, it'll be enough to put them on rails for the time being, that is, sorry. Okay. But these men seem to just be absolutely gone. There seems to be nothing left of them now. Which it basically is. It's only these cities that are sustaining them. And it's going to sustain them for a long fucking time. Not so much here, though. These will give out eventually. And then once I get that, I can get it now. Right. There we go. Hmm. Keep it as it is. Okay. Our vehicle pool's just suffering. I mean, over 50% of the vehicles now are in repair, which is horrific, but there's not that much longer left now. And we have consolidated where we can. Right, see, that's a town. I'd like to hold that town. In all honesty, I could probably do reserves here. So I think maybe in the following turn we'll shift reserves over to this area. We are suffering. Definitely fucking suffering. Almost 500,000 casualties and losses. But the main thing here is the fact that we've only lost so far 2,000 AFEs, and that's permanent. I'm pretty damn sure by this point in time the permanent losses would have been a hell of a lot higher for the AFEs. But this is hurting the Soviets too. That's what we have to bear in mind. We still technically do outnumber them if we can combine all our forces. So we'll hold on, as we have very little choice otherwise. Okay. I could refuel by air, so I think I shall. Pretty damn sure it does go to... So there's nothing in here, so it must go through into them. A lot of fuel. I mean, I'm happy to move that sheer amount of weight. That is a lot of it. Like, goddamn. There we go, some level bombers. It's like a significant amount. Okay. It's here where we're really weakest, but we'll see. Second guards. I think we did destroy the first and second guards beforehand, or was it the first and third guards? Or I don't know actually. But I know we have destroyed some guard divisions over here before. Right, so as long as we maintain this position here, we're golden. I would like to push them back and take control of this. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's still only a few hexes to take. Righto. I mean, we are dug in here, which is great. And we are digging in along the line too. The matter of fact here is that if we do retreat, we are retreating to our own supply, which is great. This is a fact that the Soviets do not have anymore, because as they are on the offensive, they're no longer moving towards their supply, but in fact moving away from their supply. So that's good for us. Right, so we do have a hell of a lot of admin points. And there's really not too much to do with it. Okay, so we'll end the turn. And, yeah, we'll go for Christmas Day. Right. I mean, we've honestly not given too much ground here. We never really had that much ground to begin with, and it was always very tenuously held. Yeah. Ooh. Do not give, do not give, do not give, do not give. Seems like one unit just starved there. Or one division just starved. So we can deal with that, and then we can spread these units out, and then that's it. That's beautiful. Right, they held. There's only 25,000 men here, that is nothing. Need to get them out of Stalingrad somehow. It will be a sad day if they give. Right, reinforcements are on their way. Yeah, the Finnish forces are amazing in this weather. I pull you back. That was a strong division. I'd say cavalry corps. Okay, not only they have retaken the railroad, but they can't use it. Yeah, we can deal with that, and then at least we're not worrying about being encircled then. Makes our position infinitely stronger, as I have all those forces available, and supply can get through. Yep, holding. You better damn well hold. You goddamn right. Unsurprising. That is surprising. That is not. I'm damn well glad that I did start moving forces up here. Right, see, they're trying to get to me, but the fact is I can just retreat. Alright, that number of vehicles is dropping as well. Which at least is something. Once the mud does come, the fact is we'll have the rivers again. And that's definitely going to help in south. There's a shitload of armor down here. Just look at how many AFEs they're losing each time. I do need to hold that city. At least it's a fantastically good defensive position, though, so that's always a bonus. Okay. That's not good. But the thing is I can pull back here and just re-solidify the line. Need that mud. Need the ice to melt so I can get the rivers again. That'll hold them back. At least improve my chances. That's not good. It's fine. I'd rather these forces here in the south than in the north or the center. So, this is fine. This is fine. Complete confidence in the Wehrmacht. I mean, we did lose a bit of ground here, but that's fine. The thing here is they are bleeding for every inch of ground we take. Interesting. Disappointing that the Romanians perform so poorly, but we do have a German corps in the area to immediately reinforce should we require. And frankly, if they leave their defensive positions, that'd be amazing for me. Indeed they have. Right, so the German Corps is going to be required. I was going to say, if those men fell back, I would not be happy. Righty. That was a long and brutal turn. Are we on Christmas Day now? Oh. What's that Christmas Day? What a hell of a Christmas Day. But the fact is, if I can bring it up... let's see... I'm gonna get a map up so we can see what the reality looked like. Okay, yeah. High losses this turn. Still Blizzard. But at least we can destroy that now. Which is superb. No way. No. They couldn't be that silly. They couldn't be that silly, could they? Of course they can. I'm not a proud man. I'll take that. I'll take it every single day of the week. That gives us what we need. And I noticed the fact that they're trying to push through here. This is what I was talking about. I mean, I moved back a little bit, but they... I mean, I was probably about here. And just look at the difference that's made. It's taken them so long to push through. Right, so first Panzer's having a whale of a time refitting. I bet they're loving it. Loving it, loving it. Loving it like this. Right, yeah, these guys have no ability to move. And they're more than likely going to die in the following turn. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Push back into some areas, but ultimately we can hold. This is the most important thing, though. Alright, not going to repeat the same mistake twice. That should be more than sufficient. There we go. That's 13,000, almost 14,000 men gone. And the fact is, I can now beef my defenses up. That's the thing. It should have made supply much better. Yep, 17 MP. 19. Yeah, superior. Obviously, probably because of the rails here as well, but oh well. I cannot believe that they did that. But yeah, I'm not a proud man. I will definitely take that. Right, yeah, as logistics continue to suffer exponentially. Ooh. Oh. Oh, that's bad. Luckily, though, it doesn't really affect me as poorly as it once would have. As I can deal with it. I do need cavalry in these areas. Okay. To think we were almost at Stalingrad again. Okay, so let's get a map up. Good size map would be nice. Okay, that seems to be decent. One moment. Right, so, here we go. So, these were the German positions at the start of the offensive, from the 5th and 6th of December. Now, that was 7th of May. I mean, what are we in? We're on the 25th of December. And, yeah, that is remarkably different. Let's try to compare. Yeah, so you can see here the fact that we still hold positions right on Moscow and we can actually take a part of Moscow is fantastic. Righto. There we go. Lovely. And the fact that we hold Rostov, so we kind of hold, like, a very nice position. So I'm happy with that one. Convert the rails. Further improve our logistics in the center. Shorten the logistical route as well, which is a big thing. So that means we can get reinforcements up to the front line even easier. There we go. So next turn we'll be able to link up that rail line. Let's get in there now. Those bastards need to be dealt with. Okay. I need to get over here. Right. So allow them to make that counter push. Because frankly, it helps me out a lot. The fact that they've abandoned those positions there is great news for me. Right. Over here is not so good, but I do have remaining forces that can... right, we'll move them this way. Okay, take position. There's not long left now until the mud return. It's an issue. Right, let's do a counterattack. They can still resupply from there. Okay, contract the line. There we go. Now let's keep moving these rails. Lovely. Notice they've pulled back here. Or just not have bothered to advance, actually. Probably more than likely. Alright, just hold that position. That makes a lot more sense than holding on to something kind of weirdly shaped. Yeah, so... as I said, not a bad man. Not a proud man. And I will take that. And that's the AI being absolutely silly, but I'll take it. Then again, it's only supplies. Okay, we'll shore up the defenses here. I go directly to the 16th, okay. Yeah, sure, whatever. Right, just leave that position. Then again. Actually, I can bomb the division here. Actually. Right. The good news is Irae is moving up over here. Excellent news. Right. That'll do. I mean, there's a hole here, but I can patch that out with troops from here, should they be required. Which, frankly, they are. Now go patch that. Okay, in the south. Have I already done the rails? Nope. Keep it moving. That's the beautiful thing now. We are starting to move supply further and further north. So ideally I'm trying to connect these. If I can connect them all up, then that would be amazing. Right. It's really the south that we need to shore up. It ain't too bad. Ain't too bad. What sort of numbers are we looking at? So yeah, you can see Soviet numbers are dropping down to their usual sort of level, about 3.8 million. You can see their number of AFVs is roughly similar to our own. Their number of planes, though, has grown by about 1,000. But that's fine. So the thing here is, they are leaving conditions available for me to break through, and all I need now is 3 hexes, again. But what might be able to be achieved is basically a breakthrough here. If we could break through here, link up with the 2nd Panzer, then, my god, we'd encircle so much force. I'm going to keep these forces in reserve. I'm going to keep these forces in reserve as well. The reason I'm doing this is I want mobile reserves, and I do not want to commit until I know where things are their worst. We have committed some reserves. I mean, frankly, reserves could be committed down here. Right, not enough rail cap, however, though, so I will not do that. But the possibility is there. Okay. I mean, they overextended themselves quite severely when they did this. They're having a whale of a time over here. Right, so you're at full strength. Let's take a look at the actual captured stockpile, see if any of it's gone out. T-26s, still T-24s, 34s, BT-7s. Yeah. Most of the same. It's not been a real big overhaul. Okay. As rough as things are, the situation will improve soon. Well, we're coming into January. And then the buds will come. And the Soviets have really bled themselves. And the fact is, they've given me Moscow, at least northern Moscow. So that's been taken. If I can... I'll probably lose it this turn, but if I can make it work and hold on to it, then I've gained even more ground. Those forces have been wiped out. So it means I have the capability now to move more men to where they're needed. But this is by far the best thing. Being able to just spread men out now is incredible. So we definitely will be able to take Moscow, I think, in 42. At least we've taken part of Moscow, so there's always that. I technically have taken part of Moscow. I technically have taken an area of Moscow in 1941. Right. And these forces have been cut off for a long time. I mean, these men are just gone. There's nothing left of them. It's only these forces here that are the issue. And they're a bloody big issue. An annoying issue at that. Oh well. I mean, I'm hoping for our 1942 pushes we can push onto here, because that's a hell of a lot of flipping production there. And that's so much. Let's see. I mean, there's a lot in these cities. I mean, the Moscow Basin, or the Gorky Basin, whatever you want to call it, holds a lot of industry and a lot of important cities. And the fact is, if we can actually push beyond Moscow... I mean, I'd love to try and get behind them with armoured forces, and that could be possible. I mean, considering the fact that if we push up onto this rail line, then they're really fucked. It's a shame about these panzers. I mean, they are going to go down, but at least they have held on to Stalingrad all this time and prevented those men from moving there easily. So they have given their all for the Fatherland and for the Reich. These are weak forces here. I don't think the time really is right to counterattack. I mean, I could. I definitely could. I think I may. Are they hell? Okay, no. The time's not right. Right then, let's see how we do. Actually, experience is solid. Supplies is looking fairly good. It's only really here where the issues are. And that's obviously going to be expected. But the fact that we do have the rails up here, I mean, we do have some really good logistical support in the area around Moscow. And it is going to continue to improve. Probably do we're heading up north, actually. But it's still fantastic. I mean, we have rails where we need rails. I mean, we have rails only just off Moscow. Right, let's continue. I'm going to keep holding on to my reserves. The worst thing you can do is commit to your reserves before the real offensive begins. Okay. They continue to hold. Notice that these forces are completely starved out as well. So in all honesty, once we get through these cities, then that's gone. Good. Very, very good. No matter. See, that would have been dangerous before. Oh. Well, I suppose they did lose a lot of armed fighting vehicles. Don't ever bloody leave a city open to the enemy. There's still a lot of power there. This is developing into a dangerous situation, but I will hold. I mean, the main danger is here, so I think I'll commit reserves here then. We've reached that point where there's no other choice. Good thing I've been preparing rails down here, isn't it? Yeah, they're heading for Bryansk. Whoa. They lost a lot of strength there. Okay, they've retaken that city. Still waiting for that, bud. It's just not going to arrive for a while, but I'll hold out. Now, there's a danger developing here. Conditions aren't right to deploy 1st Panzer yet. They are getting there. They are getting there, but it's not right yet. See, that fixes our problem. Thank you, Soviets. Anywhere else for anywhere else. There you go, that's problem fixed. I'm keeping these mountainous forces, or at least these Jaegers, on the flanks, because ultimately I do want to try and collapse this on them, and pocket them. Right, that's rather poor. Go on, advance. I dare you to. The further they advance, the worse it's going to be for them. That's not good. Strong point system continues to remain. Though Tula is rather well threatened. To put it lightly. It's been 11 turns since the foul weather hit. And we've not given that much ground. In fact, we've taken some ground. Importantly, Moscow. Or at least north and the northern section of Moscow. So, who knows what opportunities we may have if we do have the opportunity to take the actual center and take the Kremlin. Then that is the most incredible achievement. Yeah, so look at that. AFE losses rocketed for them. I mean, they're almost at 20,000. Not many air losses. I mean, we do have a huge... silly, silly AI. Silly, silly, silly AI. I'm not proud. I will take that vote every day. That's interesting. They've... It seems combatability is returning. Interesting. Indeed. Still can't break through there, but combat ability is returning. Right, so that was the very worst then. The fact that we have our fighting ability back with our German forces is really, really good timing. Right, Kharkov. Ooh. This is a difficult situation. Frankly, I could and probably should retreat from Tula. Though I do have reserves. And frankly, the fact that we can take Moscow is hilarious. But I'm not going to complain. That is the objective that we achieved, that we sought to achieve. And boom, bada boom. Not going to complain. Alright, let's move these forces in here. And, there we go. I'll have that. Thank you very much. And as I said, they've exhausted themselves pushing on the flanks. I mean, what is their strength? I mean, their strength is 3.9 now, but the fact is they've taken many losses. I think we've actually gained strength. Seems like, yeah, okay. Now, interestingly, I can set units as static, which is superb. So if I set these forces as static, I think I'll just set those guys as static and then keep these guys back. I think that does improve our vehicle needs by a degree. But the fact is they've lost the center, and I'm really happy to say that Moscow has fallen in 1941. Oh no, it's technically... Oh wow, it fell on the 1st of January 1942. Huh. So technically I didn't take Moscow in 1941, but hey, I'll take that as close as you like. And that is the center of the Red Army's logistical system just gone. And they'll make a beautiful center for our own. Yeah, they're never going to get that back now. There we go. Link up these rails. There we go. We have a direct connection now. That's technically all 3 rail lines linked up. Yeah, I mean, it's not much these partisans can do now. But I just want to stress the fact that we've been able to retain this. And, yeah, things should start to improve soon. But the fact that we've regained our combat ability is amazing. That means that we're going to take far fewer losses, we're going to inflict far more losses, and we're going to be able to really retain the ground. So in total, we have lost 582,000 men. 399,000 were disabled, but we've only lost 175,000, as in, like, they were killed completely. So only 175,000 permanent losses, i.e. they're dead, Jim, and then they're coming back. As the Soviets have suffered 700,000 dead, and 309,000 captured, so those are permanent losses too. Yeah. While as they've only captured 7,660 Axis forces. So incredibly low rate. 849,000 disabled, and they'll gain by 60,000 each turn. But we're gaining 40,000, so that's decent. And I'd love to go out there and attack the airfields. I just don't feel it's a good time to do it with the winter. Alright, so we do need to really get reserves in here. When I say really, I mean really. Then again, that might be impossible. Oh no, it's not. Good. Fantastic, in fact. The thing is, they're already on the rail. So it doesn't impact my ability at all. This is why I kept them on the rail. Sure, it impacted my logistical system, but the fact is they were able to respond at a moment's notice. Yeah, these forces are just gone. I might actually... thinking about it. So I should send some rails up here then, if I could get this rail line connected up, which I can't because I need to push them back. I might be able to go across via boat and then come down on them and attack them from behind. I'd love to know their strength. It's got to be tiny. I mean, you can see the level of attacks. I mean, they didn't try. I mean, they didn't fail for lack of trying. Okay, I simply may just pull back. I don't know. The issue is I want to retain control of this river. The issue is I do not know when the rivers return. I.e. the mud season. Can't do any attack here. I could attack here. I could try to escape, but frankly, this is the best I'm going to be able to get in terms of cover and survivability, so we need to remain in Stalingrad. As frankly, any other option would be death. Okay. I'll head back. And by back, I mean up. Well, whatever you want to call it. West. Moving away from the enemy. And we can go about linking up this rail line here. Then we'll have even further logistical capacity in this area. Namely, I'll be able to link it up to Smolensk and prevent it being cut here. Right, that should be eventually finished. So even with partisan attacks, it doesn't really make that much of a difference, considering that we can just absorb it now. Whereas beforehand, it would have completely cut the rail network. But I think it was worthwhile. All those turns of pain has paid off, as it's allowed us to get the rails to where we needed it. Okay, and they are building up a lot of men here. But the fact is, they're in Finnish territory now. So, goodbye. Those forces are withdrawing, which is really awkward. God damn, look at the strength of these guys. Yeah, I need to get something there. Let's see. Yes, I can cross then. So I think what we'll do then is we'll have these new divisions. Whoopsie, where the hell am I? Yeah, these new divisions down here. I think... Well, not this one, obviously. Then again, maybe. We could have them sent over to Finland, and then we can basically advance from the flank. But I think we'll call it a session here. These guys have had a great time. Frankly, they've got it the best out of any force. But they're keeping that city garrisoned, which is good. Check our captured stocks. Right. Seems to be rolling out a few Bay 20s. Did we? I think we're a little bit more. I think that was like 1 and 3 or something. I don't know. Are they still with the 17th? Alright, 17th. How many do you have left? You have 67 left. That's fine. Ah. Interesting. Right. Now, I've been wondering about those. Because if we take a look over here, and then we go to production. Right. So they're... Ah. They help out to support elements. I mean, those are what... Well, we've been collecting them each turn. I don't know what rate we gain them at. But they're in basically every unit. So that is interesting. I mean, there's a fucking lot of them. Yeah. Yeah, so free MP there. So that's probably why we've gained our edge back. The fact that we've gained that support element. That's very interesting. These guys are having a good time. Okay, so 1942. What an interesting year. We've managed to really hold on to the vast majority of our gains. It seems like the Soviets have kind of just spread their men out. And I was hoping to cut Moscow off in a dramatic encirclement, which almost succeeded. But the fact here is that it seems they've given up on it, or they've just exhausted themselves. Guards rifle, tank division, and a cavalry corps. And I will happily take control of that fuel. Okay, so we'll leave it here. So thank you so very much for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this, and do let me know what you think down below in the comments. And yes, I realise that the AI was rather stupid there. It's a shame. I would have liked a challenge, but ah well. Until next time, thank you for watching, and if you have enjoyed this, then please do consider supporting me on Patreon. It does make a world of difference, and allows me to continue to do this. So, goodbye for now.